Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of
Enough Already.
I'm Little Ed.
I'm Dr. John.
Tonight we're going to discuss a few of the Supreme Court decisions that came down last week. Most of them fell on the side of the Constitution and the American people.
And maybe a couple other little things.
Yeah, so we're going to get into that and a few other things regarding the debate and Trump and my favorite president. I'm endorsing Joe Biden.
Different song tonight.
Yeah, different song.
I get the same one.
All right, here we go.
New song tonight, huh, Ed?
Yeah.
We got a couple of
I kind of like that one, though. It's all right. A little hip-hoppy kind of thing. Let's talk about the one that everybody's talking about all over the left-wing media, and that's the absolute immunity, acting in official capacity. In no way, shape, or form allows the president to send SEAL Team 6 after his political enemies.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what kind of moron even come up with that talking point, but it's literally on every left-wing media site. It's just crazy. I mean, for anybody to even believe that, you
gotta have rocks in your head to think something like that's gonna happen. That's a typical left twisting thing into something it isn't.
Well, it wouldn't even be considered under official capacity to assassinate another American, period, or even execute another American without due process. It just doesn't work that way. And which reminds me that there's been a couple Americans that were executed without due process under the Obama administration, but
Jeffrey Epstein,
Barry, that was under the Trump administration, though. But, Barry was acting under the official capacity. If we really wanted to do that, then we could actually go back and charge Janet Reno and Bill Clinton for Ruby Ridge and the David Koresh Branch Davidian thing.
Oh yeah, what about that thing? Yeah, that was assassination, wasn't it?
They killed a bunch of women and children at the Branch Davidian. The FBI sniper killed a 16-year-old kid watering his dog at Ruby Ridge. And his mother while she was holding her baby, standing at her front door. So these guys, they want to tell you one side, but they don't want to tell you the other. And it's just just basically pigeonholed every federal case that they had made up against Trump regarding January 6th and
so what is this thing?
Documents and stuff. The immunity?
Yes.
Well, there's basically Donald Trump actually brought it to the Supreme Court regarding the Jan 6 charges were the erection charges that the media so insurrection charges and also the documents and that kind of stuff that has to do with him being president, and you just can't come back years later and charge a president for something he did when he was acting as the official capacity of the commander-in-chief.
I actually believe that all the presidents before Trump have had immunity because they've all done things
absolutely
that fall in the same category, but nobody's ever said anything about it.
Well, this isn't even
okay, but because it's Trump and they hate him so much, oh my God, we're gonna get a magnifying glass.
This isn't even the first time that this has been brought up by the left. They tried against George W. Bush, the first one, and the second, but it was immediately shot down because the Constitution basically recognizes that the commander-in-chief has to have that type of choices. He's got to make some pretty tough decisions, and he's got to be able to make those decisions. And if he's thinking, oh my Lord, once I'm out of office, they could come back and get me for waxing a terrorist in Iran or something. But that's just the way it is.
I believe Trump did one time, didn't he?
He did more than two. He did more than one. But that's all he did.
Good riddance too.
And they were very calculated and got exactly who he was after. And he didn't have to just start bombing random countries, hoping he hit a camel in the ass, as Barry so famously said. Not Barry, my bad. It was George Bush that said that, the second one. But as far as random bombing, Obama did a lot of random bombing. He bombed more countries than any president since World War II. And fact check me if you like. You can go right ahead. I've already looked into all this, and it's absolute fact. But definitely won the immunity, and that put every case that they got. The one in Georgia is definitely history. The Jack Smith cases are done most likely. They got to go back to a lower court, and once again they'll eventually end up in the Supreme Court again just to get shot down because they're unconstitutional. He's going to take them to lower courts that are controlled by Obama-appointed judges. They like to say Trump-appointed judges, so I'm going to go ahead and say Obama-appointed judges. And of course, they'll get kicked up to the Supreme Court where they'll say, well, all but 3 of them will say it's unconstitutional. And
You know, Ed, the only reason they're doing this is because Trump's not in the club.
right.
They can't control him.
No,
And they want a guy in there they can control.
Well, they're already rallying the troops against him. They know he's going to win the presidency.
There's no way he can't win.
They're getting desperate. So, they're already plotting riots in the streets and stuff, just like we seen back in 2016. The day the guy was inaugurated had more American people there to watch him sworn in than any president that I can remember. And just 5-6 blocks from the White House and the Washington Monument, they were burning limousines. So, and if you remember Biden's inauguration, there was 20,000 National Guardsmen there, and wasn't a whole lot of American citizens there.
No, just a few.
So there's a little bit of a difference there.
Joe Biden's an idiot. I don't, and that's no probably. It's proven fact. We've seen it.
Well, he's definitely
He's not
dementia.
running the country.
No.
His wife's doing more than he is, and there's somebody else behind it, and everybody's got to realize this guy is not. How'd you like to be a foreign dignitary? Have to meet with that guy and try and talk to him?
Well, listen, to put the 25th Amendment into action, it's got to be initiated by the Vice President.
And give us Kamala?
And then 2/3 of his own cabinet has to agree that he's out of his mind, which they're not going to give up their power. They all have. They're running the country, so they definitely don't want to take him out of there. And people like Pete Buttigieg and
But those
other transgender guys, girls that he's got in there, they don't want to lose the power that they've suddenly got with Joe Biden being president.
I saw that thing. Oh, Trump's gonna be king, and he's gonna have SEAL Team 6 kill his political adversaries, and he's gonna be able to do this. And I'm thinking, where did you come up with this, and why?
Well, it's all scare tactics. It's
Bullshit.
gaslighting, that kind of stuff. And I've heard it from other people already and I'm like, well, where does it say that actually? In the ruling, you can read the ruling right here. It doesn't say that he can kill his political enemies. And let's not forget that SEAL Team 6 is volunteer army or volunteer servicemen that are sworn to protect the Constitution, not necessarily Trump's presidency. Well, it's just one of them things, John, where they just.
I think it's funny they just pulled out SEAL Team 6. I mean,
well,
there's all kinds of branches they could have pulled out and said this, but
well, that's the most known, right? Because that's the group that killed Bin Laden. You know what I'm saying? So that's the
supposedly.
one. That's the one that all the sheep will
and
recognize
then dumped
right
his
away.
body in the ocean, so nobody knew where.
I'm pretty sure he's working down here at Dairy Mart. But anyway, definitely looks a lot like him.
Probably down in the Caribbean somewhere, hanging out,
Oh yeah.
drinking a pina colada. Or
Epstein
something.
Island, him and Jeff hanging out.
Yeah.
Well, it is what it is, And then we can let's talk about the Chevron ruling. That's one that's pretty exciting. It also has all the panties in the wad because the Chevron. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up here so we know what we're talking about.
All right.
It basically takes a lot of the bureaucracy out of a lot of things. So originally
Listen up, people.
Originally, it was put in 1984, and by largely Democrat Congress and Senate, but it's basically allows the government to intrude in everything, basically from coal mining to commercial fishing to, you give the government an inch, John, they take a mile.
A mile. They take like 10 miles.
Right. So it's basically went from something
And they're cut.
where everybody thought it was ridiculously, it was a good idea to keep an eye on these people to now they're controlling the industry with unelected bureaucrats, and it's just not. As far as the Supreme Court goes, it's unconstitutional, and my favorite part about it is it basically kills everything the Green New Deal has, and that's really why AOC is flying off the handle.
Well, she come up with this Green New Deal, and she don't have a clue about. She don't know her rear end from a hole in the ground.
She's gonna bring articles of impeachment against the Supreme Court. Which
Oh yeah.
can't be done.
Well, AOC's brain dead.
She is absolutely brain dead. They need to make AOC a bartender again. With any luck,
She probably wasn't even a good bartender.
Should be the richest bartender around. But you look at some of the ones that I didn't agree with these rulings. You know, like Sotomayor, for example. It's just all gaslighting from her dissent to the ruling. Now,
What kind of term is Green New Deal anyhow? Who came up with that? Was her brainstorm?
No, that's a communist thing, bro. That was long before AOC ever became anything more than
just
a
found
good-looking
it.
bartender that smiled for tips.
Green New Deal.
Right. You look at it, there's the three communists on the Supreme Court, or I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. The three the three left-wing.
Probably.
You know what I'm talking about.
Probably communist.
We're talking about Kagan Jackson Kagan Jackson and Sotomayor. They basically come out with they dissented, of course, because they don't agree with it, and they're going to scare everybody by saying this will cause a massive shock to the legal system, and they're right, because now the government just can't take you to court for every little thing and try to control your business and every step.
No more
of your
strong
business.
army.
Exactly. So it's kind of it's a good thing. You know, it's basically Chevron versus the Natural Resources Defense Council, which, you know, it's just they've done a lot of good things, and they've done a lot of bad things. You know, not a lot, but one of the bad decisions they made recently was when Texas and Florida were suing the government. There was also some citizens that were involved in that regarding free speech on social media. Because, you know, I can't say anything on Facebook I can't even say Taylor Swift's ugly without getting a warning for bullying. You know what I mean? So that's pretty sad.
Or against community standards, which I don't even know what are.
Man, I'm permanently on against community standards, John. They're after me. I could say the Predator, the movie Predator. I could say he was ugly, and they're going to accuse me of bullying. It's that bad. But
yeah, I got trouble for calling somebody a puke.
Right, exactly.
Oh, and you're bullying. I said, no, I said he was a puke, and he is a puke.
I got a 30
The guy
day.
was a puke. It wasn't no lie.
I got a 30-day ban one time for misspelling a word.
Well,
It's
shame on you.
It's a true story. It's a true
Shame
story.
on you.
But yeah, I mean, they basically ruled against Texas. They just said they didn't have enough, basis to bring a suit to them, and so they basically just kicked it back down. And I'm sure.
Bucky must be tired.
No, wait, there you go.
He's concentrating.
That's
I've done that a few times.
Yeah.
Concentrate with my eyes closed.
Right, I was concentrating on the couch before I came over here. Anyway, I'm kind of happy with the Supreme Court now because, like I said, it's the first time, basically, since I was a very young man that the rights had control over it. And that's an equal part of our government. So
Part of our
they have a
government.
lot of say in what happens. And basically, to overturn everything that they said, like say they want to try to overturn their decision on the Chevron, they're going to have to take it to the same people that overruled it. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. And the chances of getting any of this stuff turned back are slim to none. And thank God for Donald Trump putting 3 conservative justices on the Supreme Court.
That's amazing how that worked out during his term, isn't it?
It is. Well, they tried to listen.
They wanted to pack the court, though.
They somehow Justice Scalia ended up dead with a pillow over his head, and you basically got that brushed under the carpet. That, no one. I'm not even sure what
They
happened.
probably blame that on the pillow guy.
Yeah, fucking Mike Lindell killed him. That figures. But Obama tried to put Merrick Garland on.
Oh
the
my
Supreme
God! Could
Court.
you imagine if that?
Yeah.
I can't.
And that's
I'm trying to hold my tongue here about that guy because.
And I don't talk nice about Mitch McConnell often, but the turtle did the right thing there. Cocaine Mitch actually held out. Well, Obama was a lame duck president at that point in time, so
Merrick Garland got a Supreme Court, we'd all been screwed.
Right. Well, they're talking that they're going to try to get Sotomayor to fucking kick out of there. So, and they're trying to get Justice Clarence Thomas, to back out. And because his wife hung a flag upside down, shame on her.
Guess what time it is, Ed?
Let me see. It's it says here it's the 3-minute break.
Yes, it is.
You want to take a break first or go right?
No, we're gonna roll again. We'll take a break after.
All right.
But it's 3-minute rant time.
All right.
And tonight our 3-minute rant is
Peto's lies during the debate.
Joe Biden and his
Joe
lies.
Biden's lies during the
Yeah. Well, you want to start
Sure,
things that drive me
sure.
crazy that I just go crazy during the debate.
Well, I want to start with the Border Patrol endorsement, who literally within the minute of him saying it was on every social media website saying, we never endorse this guy, we never would endorse this guy.
Yeah, they're like, bam, no, we don't endorse him.
Not a chance, not a chance. Not a chance, not a chance.
No, and they're not going to endorse
No,
him.
hell no. Why
No.
would they? Their jobs are retarded now.
And my rant thing is claiming how he did prescription drugs and he lowered the price of insulin. Trump already did that.
Right.
He kicked it out, let the price go back up, then they ran a bill through. Oh, look, we lowered the price of insulin. Well, it already had been done, but you guys rescinded it.
And he didn't
then
even
you
get the
put-
amount, he didn't even get the amounts right.
No, and he got that all screwed up too. Said it's $15, it's $35, and but he didn't do that. That had already been. Well, they did do it after they
Right.
stopped it.
It started, yeah.
And try to make it like they were the ones that did it to take credit. That's complete bullshit.
Well, he finally did beat Medicaid.
Oh, they beat Medicaid.
No, it was
No,
Medicare.
Medicare. He said, I beat Medicare.
Right, well, they
I
said-
didn't know he's trying to beat Medicare.
They're saying that he meant Big Pharma, but I don't see where he beat
Well,
Big
then he
Pharma.
should have said Big Pharma. But how do you beat Medicare anyhow? Was we trying to beat Medicare?
I wasn't.
I didn't ever see nothing in the news about
I
us
would like
trying to beat
improve it.
Medicare.
We can improve by getting
How do
rid
you
of
beat
Obamacare.
Medicare?
I don't know.
Joe, tell us.
He-
How do you beat Medicare,
Here.
Joe? I'm begging you to send us an email.
Well,
Let us know
anyway.
how. And then he says, anyhow. Or
Yeah,
anyhow.
Oh, and then my favorite one is the good people on both sides comment from Charlottesville, which was literally debunked
yeah.
3 days before the debate. And Tapper and Dana Bash sat right there and did not fact check. And they should have said, well, Mr. President, that's been proven to be bullshit again for the 50th
We're
time.
not going to do that.
No,
But we
they-
know that's not true.
No, it's definitely
And
not true.
inherited 9% inflation.
Right.
Where did he come up with that? It was
Ah.
1.4%, Joe. 1.4%, Joe Biden. It was not 9%.
It didn't hit
was
9,
9% till you got in office and it went to 9%.
Which, like in June, he sworn in January, and it went from 1.4 to 9%. Like
Oh,
in
and
June.
this was the biggest one of all for me. Not one military person was killed under my watch. Now, everybody knows that that's a lie.
Right.
What about the ones in Afghanistan and the debacle when they left? Hell, was it 13 of them that died?
13 of them, yeah.
Yeah, but I guess they must have been discharged
And that's-
before they got on the plane.
Yeah, they were out of the service before they got on the
they
plane.
were as civilians, so it didn't count.
Right,
I guess that's the end of our 3-minute rant, buddy.
right. Just one more thing on that. That's not
Yeah.
even counting the Afghanis that were helping us while we were over there, and as far as training and translating and all that other stuff, who were probably killed.
Every
within minutes.
president that has lost military servicemen while they're in office, there's not a
Trump
one that
lost
hasn't.
the fewest though in my lifetime.
Yeah. So
Well,
that's
wait.
the end of our rant. We'll be right back.
All right, we're back.
Yes, we are.
And before we go any further, we got to address the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and that's Johnny's black eye.
I just got whacked at work. It is no big deal.
Oh, but it looks great.
Accidental mishap.
No, he's lying. He's an MMA fighter. When we're not doing this kind of stuff, or he's not doing construction shit, he's beating up people like, Conor McGregor and stuff.
No, I am not.
Dana, call him.
I was on a SEAL Team 6 mission.
Oh, that's right. Were you trying to kill Nancy Pelosi?
No.
No. Or, I can't believe those people, man. To even think that would even be a thing. And what gets me is people believe it. That the whole gaslighting, I mean, it's just so, I don't know, it's just so out there. How would you even...
Quit believing the unbelievable.
I mean, you got to put that in the category of UFOs, I think, and chemtrails and shit like that. You know what I mean? You just can't do it. It's just crazy.
Well, I know I've seen those chemtrails.
But I'm just saying, you can't prove it, though.
No.
The government's got the information dominance like we've never seen before.
And I think they put people out there to start this crap, instigate it, and to get these people to start saying that stuff. I think the government
Like
actually...
the flat earth theory?
No, I mean, I think they say, go out there and spread disinformation with these people and get them going, and then make them get all crazy and start protesting and saying this crap, because I think it's, in disguise, it's actually the government producing this stuff with the people.
Oh, yeah.
And then they They get them gaslit and they get them going a little bit, and then it just takes off.
If you keep-
because it's so easy, because these people are so gullible for anything.
Right. And if you keep people fighting each other, then they're not paying attention what the hell
Exactly.
they're
As
doing.
long as they can keep us apart, keep us fighting, and keep these people fighting and making everybody unhappy,
Right.
they can keep doing what they want to do.
Exactly
so
right.
you know, it's all propaganda. That's government propaganda that's instigated
And one
into
thing-
the people.
One thing that's
You
guaranteed
got to
about
stop
that
going with it.
is the ones that are doing the gaslighting and doing the dog whistling, if you want to call it that they're getting filthy rich, Rachel Madcow, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah, well, she's one of them.
Well, you know,
One of the people doing that that's spreading this complete bullshit
Well,
on TV, and then people
but-
are gullible enough to believe it. Or, oh my God, she said that. Well, open your eyes up and say, well, I'm really going to look into this and find out what they're talking about. Who's starting this stuff? Not, you know, and I don't care if it's a right wing side and they're starting to say some stuff.
right.
I just had a buddy put some stuff on Facebook about Zelensky's wife's buying a $5 million car in Paris.
Right.
I look it up. Now they're all saying she didn't do it, okay?
There's receipts though.
So that they're all saying she didn't do it. Now, I know how the media covers stuff up, and does not mean that she didn't do it, but that doesn't mean she did it, but we don't know, and I haven't seen her driving the car, so I can't prove it.
I
So
have
really,
no-
I don't have no right to say
I don't
that.
even know what she looks like, so she
Oh, I
could,
seen a picture of her.
she could drive by on a Bugatti, and I would say, "Hey, nice car."
But I told him, I said, man, I said, they say this isn't true. I said, but that doesn't mean it isn't true, but trying to decipher what's true, what's not true is just about impossible anymore.
See, I got in a little spat with a guy who said that Obama signed a law allowing propaganda, and that's just not true. He repealed a law that prevented propaganda from being spread in American media that goes back to World War II. He didn't sign a law, he just got rid of one.
Yeah.
So and as soon as that happened, that's when your Rachel Madcows and your Morning Joke and
If you control the media, Ed, you control the people.
correct.
Period.
Well, those with the
And that's a Joe Biden quote. Period.
got a drink.
I don't really like quoting Joe Biden, but that's what he said. Period.
He said it like 5 times during the debate.
I think that's before he. I don't know if that's before he beat Medicare or after he beat Medicare.
I don't know either.
But it was period.
All right, well, let's get back into the Supreme Court decisions, John. I want to basically touch on some that
Real quick.
that the Supreme Court said you can't do that. Biden said, yeah, you can because I'll executive order student loan forgiveness, in particularly that everybody's the average guy that did the student loan forgiveness probably makes 150 grand a year. I was reading a story where a guy made 180 grand a year in order to pay back $500 a month on his student loan that he had gotten 20 some odd years ago.
AOC still got student loans she hasn't paid back.
Right. Well, we'll pay it back for her because it's got to get paid somehow. It's not forgiveness. It's just redistribution. So what happens is your plumbers and your contractors and your factory workers are all going to be taxed a little more to pay for it.
I'm okay if they do a student loan forgiveness if the university has to pay for it.
Well,
They just say, okay, we're not going to get no money. Okay, we're not getting any money. Good.
let's talk about it.
I'm perfectly fine. And the universities can take the beating.
If they're going to do the student loan forgiveness for working people and people that make decent money, let's do medical expense forgiveness for senior citizens.
Well, I want some tool forgiveness because I didn't go to college and I had to buy a whole lot of tools for what I business and trucks and so I think they owe me some money. I need tool and truck and equipment forgiveness.
Right.
I mean, that's only fair.
But I'd like to see that. The Supreme Court totally ruled against it. And basically it's patronizing. It's basically pandering for votes. They're telling these guys that, well, okay, we'll just vote for Biden and we'll
I
forgive
just
it.
heard somebody ask me, said, did you hear something about another stimulus? And I said, that sounds just like something they would do, send a bunch of checks out trying to get people to vote for them before the election.
Well, one of the things that the Chevron decision did was they were trying to reclassify marijuana as like Tylenol. And in my opinion, that was pandering for votes because that shit's just irrelevant. We smoked marijuana when it meant prison time. We didn't give a shit. It's just the way it is. And so that got, that's basically kicked out of there now. So
All the messing with you.
yeah, she always did.
So, we're about time limited out.
Again,
I sounded like Joe Biden there for a second. Excuse me, people. I didn't mean to do a Biden on you.
we don't really do it. We don't really have a set time when we do this. We just kind of get together and decide we're gonna, because this is Wednesday, the day before our nation's birthday, 248 years old tomorrow.
And then if you watch the end of this, let me know, because I don't think any of you watched the end. So I can say whatever I want to say.
Oh, you know what? We should start putting our email address at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that'll help.
Ed and Dr. John at gmail.com. Email us. One person, please. Somebody
just
email
somebody.
us.
Somebody besides Google saying we're getting into our account.
Yeah. And that's the show. That's the wrap. Let me hit the music.
Till next time,
And
I'm Little Ed,
I'm Dr. John.
and this was enough already.
And
Cue the music.
low tech tonight.
Nothing wrong with that. I like the way it says fake news. It says fake, we're talking about fake news.
Yeah.